there guys, and welcome to today's video. So I'm so excited about doing this project with you today. We're going to start by just disassembling this Dollar Tree calendar I found by just pulling those staples out. Y'all know these colors had my heart, so I had to figure out something to do with it. I'm going to start by just literally cutting it straight down the middle with my paper trimmer. And then I'm going to go through and just kind of, well, I would say sort them, but I didn't sort them. But I'm basically just going to put them so they are calendar to calendar, so all of the prints are on the back. Make sure that you are putting them so that the words are all face up, because you don't want to end up, obviously, with some upside down words. And then you're also going to save the cover, which is the back part, because we are going to use that. And this is where it gets super fun, but a little bit messy. So make sure that you take something and cover your surface, because we're going to be using this spray adhesive. This one happens to be Elmer's. I love it. And we're going to literally just spray the calendar side. Spray, 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 spray. And then do our best to try to line it up. You can see I struggled lining it up at the top, and then you'll see here in a second, I actually figured out it's actually easier to start at the bottom. Here, you guys learn from my mistakes. Start it from the bottom, and then it just works really, really well. Just line up the bottom and the corners. And you're just gonna do this really to all of them. Super, super easy. What I do love about this Elmer's glue is it is both temporary and permanent. So if by chance you're gonna see, you can see I pull it up a couple times. There's one I even took apart altogether. But what I love is until it's dry, it is temporary, so you can go in and fix those mistakes if you get it off center or whatever. Love it. It is Elmer's Craft Bond Spray Adhesive multi-purpose. Love it. Fantastic. But it's literally just spray, spray, spray. And we're actually going to use this adhesive for the entire project, so it's going to make it super fast and super easy. I'm super excited about it, because again, I love these colors. They're just all in my wheelhouse, and they just gave me happy vibes. And of course, they are at the Dollar Tree, which is no longer the Dollar Tree. We know it is the $1.25 tree, but that's okay. We'll pay it because it's fun. So there is my stack of fun. I mean, just look at all those colors. I am loving it. So I did grab my score board, and then I realized I didn't really like it or need it, so I'm like, forget it. I put it back up. So I decided just to kind of eyeball and just fold them in half. Now, what you want to make sure you do when you fold these in half is whatever is on the inside of your folds is what's going to be visible. So just make sure if you have a particular favorite print that you don't put it on the outside, because we're actually going to glue all these together, and I don't want you to accidentally glue up and hide your favorite one. So just make sure that your favorite print of the two is on the inside. And you see we've made all these nice little leaves. See, this one I switched because I decided I liked the other one better, and I wanted to make sure that it showed whenever we had our finished project. Now here's where it just becomes a choice. I trimmed mine down partially so I could get rid of those little holes that were in because it's a wall calendar, so it had that little hangy hole. So I just trimmed those down, but you can trim it as big or as small as you want. I could have trimmed this down into two separate ones, which would have been fun too. But this journal is going to be so fun because I'm going to be able to add whatever I want. Some of the full words are visible, some of them aren't. But the great thing is a lot of it's already done. There's so much color, there's so much texture, there's even some words here and there that I can just work off of. And as you can see, I've protected my surface again. And we're literally going to do the exact same thing. We're going to spray some adhesive, and then we're going to line it up and smooth it out. And we're just going to do that until we've got all of them stacked together. Again, this stuff is fantastic for quick and easy art. And the good thing about this glue too is you don't run the risk of the warping, because you're not making it super, super thick, and you're not making it really wet. But look, so you will have to make sure that you leave it to dry open before you move on to these next steps. I didn't because I was filming a video, but it just makes sure that you don't accidentally have any adhesive on the inside. So just kind of keep that in mind, that before you move on to this step that you might want to let it air dry for just a little bit. So I want to make sure that my inside is smaller than what I'm using for my cover. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I'm not really measuring it. My bad on that, but feel free, again, make it as big or as small as you want. And what's great is one page on the calendar, which is the very back cover, or the front cover, is actually a little bit thicker of a cardboard, whereas this is kind of a thin paper. So what's really great is it's going to make a perfect sturdy cover for our little journal here. And like I said, I'm just kind of eyeballing this. I think I was like, I think it's about 1/4 of an inch I need to trim off. But yes, yay! So you can see it fits perfectly inside my folded front cover. And I did trim it, I think because they were uneven. I think that's why I trimmed it. And then I decided it needs to be a little bit shorter. But what's great is we're going to do the exact same technique as we did with the other stuff. We're just going to apply some spray adhesive, and we're just going to stick it in there. I don't know a better way to say it. And just press it down really, really good. Get that nice, especially on that binding. And it was a little off on the top, you can see. So I just took my scissors. I just realized I did that. Oh no, I thought I did it off screen. And just trim that. No big deal. It really wouldn't have been a big deal. But look how fun this is. I love it. I'm so in love with it. So I did let it dry a little bit, sitting up just like this, just to give it some time to make sure I didn't accidentally stick the pages together. Just for fun, we're going to throw in a little bit of art on the front. This is one of my stencils, is from my Worship Girl series. I'll leave the link in the description if you guys are interested in it. I'm just going to throw it on the cover with some black acrylic and just give it some color and some pop and just play with it for just a little bit. What I love about a project like this is if you've gone to Dollar Tree or really any kind of store, there are so many options for calendars. You could do this with some beautiful, lake scenes, forest scenes, cats and dogs if that's your jam. But there's so many options where you could turn something kind of boring and mundane into something really cool and funky. I added some black paint around the edges to kind of tone down the brightness because, it was a little funky. I'm not mad at it. And so I think right here, what I'm doing off camera is I'm trying to find this particular sticker that I was looking for. But I loved this concept. I thought it was super fun. And you guys know these colors are my jam. So I was super excited to be able to turn it into something else useful. Something you're going to notice in the pictures also at the end is this is a stamp that I carved that you can see. That's the rubber stamp that I'm just using some white acrylic. And in a second, I'm going to grab the foam stamp version of that, which is also available in my Etsy store. It's just called Splat. I love it. But what you're going to see in the end is on the back of the calendar, there was little boxes that had basically it showed you what each month was, the different images. And so I decided after I started filming, or I stopped filming, that I wanted to add some tabs. So when you get to the end, take a look at at some of the still shots, and you'll see I added just some little tabs to it, just to differentiate the pieces and just to make use of the full calendar. So I'm just playing with this. I'm just going to add some fun. I think at some point I'm going to stop, but thank you guys so much for joining me today. If there's something you see at the Dollar Tree that you'd like me to revive, leave it in the comments and make sure you follow me on social media at The Creative Life Studios. Bye guys.